Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to show off a game called Punishing Gray Raven. It's a really interesting game that I've been just kind of messing around with, and I thought I'd go ahead and share it with you guys. Well, I'm kind of just waiting for other games to come out. I've been just kind of just browsing and just seeing what other games, had came out, and this one recently came out, and I honestly been having a lot of fun with it. It's not like a sponsored video or anything, it's just something that I have been enjoying. So what it is it's an action game that is also kind of like a match 3 at the same time, which I know sounds like a weird concept, but I'm a huge fan of games like Devil May Cry, so I like hack and slash games. But this game has some pretty cool features, so I'm just going to go ahead and hop into some gameplay and show you guys. And you'll be able to select 3 different characters, and you can rotate in between them. You'll get a few characters, but the game also does have characters locked behind random RNG, so that is kind of one thing that is kind of unfortunate for people that don't really want to like RNG certain things, which I totally understand. But anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and have this character as my main instead of this character, which I just recently got. I'm kind of leveling him up. But basically, you have your squad of 3 characters, and you can rotate in between them. But let me just go and show you guys the gameplay, and then I'll talk a little bit more about like the customization, because there is some action RPG elements, as like there are sets of items that you can acquire, and it's kind of cool. So hopping right in, there are 3 like different classes in the game. There's tank, DPS, heal. I don't run healer in any of my like current rosters right now, but it's a really cool game, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys some of the combat gameplay. So in the very beginning on some of the missions you'll have to talk to them, but I pretty much been skipping out on everything. Now there are missions, and this is one of the missions where it would be considered a stealth mission. Your goal is to not be spotted, although I'm just going to get spotted just so I can show you guys the combat. So in terms of the combat, you have like your basic attack, and then on top of that you also have abilities to kind of match. You have a match 3, you have a system kind of like Bayonetta's where you'd be able to slow down, and you can rotate in between the characters. And this game is just awesome. Like I said, it's not sponsored or anything. And the cooldown with the like slowdown, which is actually called the Matrix feature, it's got its own cooldown on each character, so it encourages you to rotate in between the different characters. Not only because it's more fun, but it actually gives you like more DPS theoretically. Now going into the match 3, like I said, this mission happens to be a stealth mission. There are a few varieties of different mission types, but I'm just going to show you guys that there are more mechanics than just like fight. So when you auto attack, you'll be getting your abilities in 3 different colors. There's yellow, and then there's blue and red. So if I want to match 3, I'm going to use my mouse over here because I'm playing with a controller as well. If I want to just use like yellow abilities, I can basically move out some of the other colors. It's a little bit harder to do with a controller, but the animation canceling in this game is actually really good. And also, if I time my dodge at the right moment, I will be able to basically slow down time. I'll try to do it right now. So I have to get kind of closer. Okay, now you can see the time slows down, and I'll be able to, I can call an assist. And there's even like ultis, like this is his ulti. If you played Overwatch, it's kind of like a Reaper ultimate where it does an AoE. It's really cool. I haven't played this game up until the point of like end game, but I think the game is really fun. So now that I've shown you guys some of the gameplay and like the core mechanics of it, I'm gonna go ahead and go into like the customization of the characters, because that's a huge part of this game. Also, I am playing this on PC. However, you can also play it on mobile. I cannot speak for the mobile version myself because I've only been playing it on PC, so there could be like different like things in terms of like optimization. Might not be as smooth in certain areas, but for the most part it's probably going to be a very similar experience. So first off, in terms of like the characters, like I mentioned before, it's like any gacha game, like you'll have to RNG get the characters, but you can also get shards of the characters. It takes a lot of what's called shards to build the character, but in terms of the customization, like you have a weapon and you can like rank it up, which would basically, or level it up, which basically just increases the stat values. There's nothing new in terms of like in this genre of game, but what I do like are these things called memories. So this one doesn't really have any sets because I'm just running a lot of the ones that have higher numerical values, but there are sets, and I'll kind of explain this. So you have 6 inventory slots per character, so each one will have 6 of their own, and you cannot run the same one that you run on another character. Like each one that you have will have that equipment. So for example over here, this memory has a 2-piece bonus when attacking. There's a 20% chance to call an artillery strike that will deal whatever damage. There's different elements of damage too. There's not just physical. In fact, it's very similar to other games. You have your fire and your different elements. But there's other 4-piece bonuses like this one over here. Spear has a 2-piece bonus and then a 4-piece bonus, and there are different ones. So in terms of like the action RPG, because I know some of you guys might have followed me for specifically Diablo or Path of Exile, there are kind of builds where you can try to focus in on a very specific ability potentially, because it might increase, let's say, an elemental damage versus physical damage. You might want to be scaling that a little bit more, but that's probably not the main focus of this game. I would not say that this game is very gear dependent on like a build specifically with certain items, although you can get small numerical changes. Also, in terms of like training the character, you can also upgrade them, and when you upgrade them, it just gives you more numerical values, which is not what I would consider very interesting to me, but that's just part of it. However, you can also get a different form of currency called Shards that will also upgrade your character, converting it to what would be like a lower star or lower class of the character to upgrade it to like an S class. So even if you have some of your favorite characters that aren't like the rarest in the very beginning, you can upgrade them to be a little bit better. Now, before I mentioned that like you have like your colors that you can go into, which is a cool concept. You can also level up these skills. Let me actually go to the character that I'm investing all of my like gear into. So in terms of the abilities, I've maxed out all the ones that I can right now. So how it works is if you have one of the color, so this is for yellow, right? And if I have one, it does 88. And these are like, this is 1 times, 2 times, and then 3 times damage. However, when you actually use the ability, when you match 3 of the colors, it will actually grant yourself more ult charge, which is kind of cool, and that's kind of how the game works. You could just basically spam and RNG it, but there's 3 different skills, and on top of that, you can actually get different skills depending on what you want to have as the different types of skills. You have actives and passives. There's ones where you will specifically get to choose which passive as you unlock. So you will unlock these as you rank up the character. So there is some play to like unlocking more skills. It's not just like when you get the character, that's it. But some of these are passives and some of them can be actives. So there is a difference in between the skill types. So that's really cool, and some of them work across multiple characters. This one just gives you a passive bonus. This one when a target is marked by a projectile. And there's ones where like when you slow down time, when you basically get the perfect dodge like you would in Bayonetta or like any other like hack and slash game. It's cool, like it definitely has a little bit of play to some of the different play styles that you might want to go focus more on. But in addition to that, like even though it's a match 3, there's more depth to this game, which I actually really liked. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into the there's these other like practice areas, and I want to show you guys this because as you unlock a character, you'll be able to do like their practice, and it'll show you kind of how the character is unique. I'm just going to show this one off really quick. So we'll go ahead and hop in. Now, in terms of the game being pay to win, I mean, obviously, if you're able to buy loot boxes, you can get the characters up more. And also, I want to mention the game is very easy in the very beginning, but after you're about a couple hours in, the game difficulty definitely goes up, which I like. Now, this one is explaining like how to use this character. So one thing that I can do, which is to trigger like a different skill that's just not here. If I do any 3, well, let's get rid of, well, I actually I'm gonna have to use the ability here. So what I do need is a red. So this is kind of something cool. So not only do you have like the match 3 system, but in addition to that, you can see, well, it says, we have to use the dual blade. So what I do is any match 3 plus a red opens up the doors to something else. You'll see that there is a little like gauge, and if I want to go into the skill detail, I can basically check out a little bit more on like what that exactly does. All of this one, it just shows you really quick. In fact, let me go and actually go over the whole thing. I've already done this before, so I can't get the reward again, but what this offers is even more complexity to how you want to actually do your move set. because at first glance it looks like you just have your attack and you also have your dodge, but there is more to the game. And if I go to skill details, it will grant us a different basic attack, because now we have a dual wield ability. So I like that. This is something that I think is really cool for the game. But I'll also show you guys the other mechanic to it that exists in the game at the moment. So going into like the shop, or like the R&D is what it's called. If you want to get like characters, you have to RNG it. You will get some stuff in the very beginning, like, because it is technically a game. It's a free-to-play game, by the way. So like, in order to unlock stuff, you will have to spend your currency. I haven't spent any money in the game yet, but there is also cosmetics, and I'm going to show you guys the cosmetics too. Let me go and show that. But like, in terms of unlocking your weapons and stuff, you can get stuff in-game. You can also get what's called shards. If I go over here, you can see what we can unlock. Oh, you know what? It wants us to do this. So you can see, as I start completing some of these like quests that are in the game, you'll be able to get the memory. So this isn't a character, and it's kind of confusing on how it works. So these are basically the items in the game. Like, this is our inventory, where I was talking about like the set bonuses. The equipables are characters in the game called like memories. So they also boost up your stats. So they not only have stats, but they have like, depending on what set you want to run, there's bonuses. But in addition to that, there's called character shards, which I kind of mentioned before. And how that works is, you can see on this character, I have 4 out of 30. So once I get the amount, yeah, I'll be able to get the character with bow. This is the last like different weapon archetype that I haven't been able to try out. There are some characters where I would think that they overlap. Like, for example, this character over here has the rifled gun, and there's another character over here that also looks like it has the same like weapon archetype. So there are overlaps with weapons. So not every character just has weapon and you equip it. It has to be that specific weapon type. So in terms of like loot drops, some of them can be shared and some of them can't be shared. Like the memory, as far as I'm aware of, most of them can use like shared memories, but you can't run different like weapons on a different character in terms of customization. But in terms of the characters, you can also get different, it's called coding, but it's like the different outfits on the characters. And as far as I'm aware of, you don't get any benefit from this other than just the cosmetics. So that's kind of good in terms of like the pay-to-win mechanic of this game. But that's like the basics of this game that I wanted to go ahead and show off in the game right now. And I just started, and I'm honestly enjoying the game, and I figured I'd go ahead and share it with you guys. But that is Punishing Gray Raven. Let me know, guys, if you guys have played this game, what your thoughts are on it, and that's basically what I want to show off. There are boss battles and stuff like that. In terms of like the campaign, right now we're in chapter 3, and there are a total of 8 chapters, and then there's something called the hidden chapters, and these are a little bit different. They're kind of like remixes, if you will, of the maps that already exist, and this also goes up to 8 as well. In terms of the story, they don't narrate everything. I've been skipping out on the story, but the gameplay is really fun. You just kind of just go in and kill some stuff, and then that's basically it. But I didn't want to cover this game as it had some, you know, action RPG elements where like there's sets and there's items to obtain, but the main core thing that you'd play this game for is definitely the combat. I mean, maybe the story's good. I haven't read it because it's literally not voice acted. You have to like sit there and read the dialogue, and I'm not sure if I want to do that yet, but I am enjoying the game. But like I said, let me know your thoughts if you guys have played it down below, and what your opinions are on it if you guys just saw this video. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll maybe follow up later down the line when I get to endgame. I want to see if this game has PvP and other things later down the line, because like I said, I'm just kind of waiting for Diablo's new season to start, as well as Path of Exile. So I'm kind of just browsing and seeing what other games are available in this game recently came out this week. But if you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you want to see more, I will probably update you guys more towards like endgame mechanic. But if you want to see more of it, and this is your first time here, hit subscribe, turn the bell, and see more later down the line. But thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. Have a good one. I'm out. Peace.